Saturday Night Main Event Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Saturday Night Main Event, Raw and or Smackdown. If they bring back Saturday morning cartoons, WWE Saturday morning cartoons, I won't be doing hot takes for that. It's a cartoon. What kind of hot takes can we have? Animation should have been better. They shouldn't just always drop the anvil only on Drew McIntyre. All right, let's get to hot takes though. And we go to Money on Repeat. Big Bronson Reed. Nothing else to be said. All right, nothing else to be said. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day. Just kidding. Elsnor 2906. Bronson Reed being the third man is cool, but him being the third man doesn't make sense because of him giving Seth 10 of the tsunamis. Hopefully, they make a good explanation, though. Dark Kanji says the Seth Paul Heyman faction literally makes no sense. And Raphael Ad Air says Bronson Reed as Seth's third man was unexpected considering he destroyed him with 6 tsunamis. Braun doesn't seem to trust the group that much, thus hinting at a face turn. A couple more points I'll get to later with Raphael, but yeah, this Bronson Reed thing. First off, it doesn't make sense right this second that he has aligned himself with Seth Rollins. Last we saw, Bronson Reed made a name for himself by giving Seth Rollins 6 tsunamis in a row. Then Rollins came back and cost Bronson Reed his match against Braun Strowman. Then they had another match at Crown Jewel where Seth won, but Bronson stood up like a beast afterwards, like a scary movie where, you think you defeated the villain, but nope, you didn't. You just made him mad. And Seth was like, oh my gosh. They did have one more rubber match in which Seth lost with the aid of Solo Sikoa when the bloodline was happening for War Games. And then that was it. That was it between Seth and Bronson Reed because Bronson Reed made a stupid call and jumped off the top of the steel cage and destroyed his ankle. And now here we are months later and Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, they're a team. So what happened? Where's the explanation here? It makes no sense, right? It doesn't make sense right this second, but one quick little promo on Monday Night Raw can make it all make sense. All you gotta do is Seth has to come out there and say, I always got a plan B, I got a plan C, I got plans all the way to Z. In fact, we go into the numbers. And he has to say, you know what? When I was feuding with Bronson Reed, I knew this dude was the future, so I put it in the back of my head that I would eventually recruit him. And when he was injured, I had many long conversations over the phone, and thus, now Bronson Reed is in the fold. Now, whether you like Bronson Reed or not, with Seth Rollins, that's a whole nother topic, but the explanation can be easy to fix. He was just like, okay, you know what? He beat me up, and I want someone who can beat me up on my side. That's basically what we have to go with. Now, here's the thing, though. Braun Breaker, though, did seem kind of, I don't know, was he a little jealous, or was he just a little surprised by this? I hope we aren't already teasing a face turn for Braun Breaker. I know the dogs are always barking, but I kind of want this feud to go longer. I would like for this to be an evolution type feud where when it's all said and done, everybody is elevated to the main event, and Braun Breaker, he just got in this. We need to let this play out for at least 6 to 8 months before we start considering face and heel turns within the faction. I want Seth Rollins to have this title on his shoulder at SummerSlam, by SummerSlam, and then he has a super group backing him up, almost a stranglehold. It'll be like the Reign of Terror 2.0 with Seth Rollins and his world title, because Seth needs this title like you boys and girls need this title. Seth can win it at SummerSlam, and you can win it once I hit 20,000 subscribers. I'm giving it away. It's a contest. This is real. I'm going to give this away at 20,000 subscribers. All you got to do to win is comment below. You got to subscribe to the channel. Also, be one of said 20,000 subscribers and hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate a thumbs up as well. Trying to quit the day job, you can win the title in the process. Demon King says, hot take, the Wyatt Six should have shown up at some point. That's an opinion. I don't agree agree with it. I'm okay with the Wyatt Six just showing up on SmackDown for the time being. I think it might have been a little too confusing for viewers at home, being that this was directed more for a casual audience. Would it have been cool? Probably, but like, I think it was the right call not showing up, but I get it. Your favorites, they're your favorites, so you want them everywhere. That's understandable. Tiz Mickey, this by far the best Saturday Night's Main Event, probably because I wasn't expecting anything. I love that Bronson Reed is back, and even though I know a lot of people hated it, I loved that Priest won, and I'm actually enjoying their feud. I agree on the Saturday Night's Main Event, best one yet, just getting better and better, and that's all you can really ask for. You know, if we just dwell on the fact that the first one meant very little, then it's like, okay, who cares? What have you done for me lately? It's good that Triple H is improving upon himself, and the format is working. Bronson Reed's back. I'm very happy. I was afraid that he would never walk again, to be honest with you. So welcome back, Bronson Reed. And you're right. I was not happy that Damian Priest won, but their feud is good. It made sense. I crash out when it doesn't make sense. I hated when Gunther tapped out in 2 seconds to Jey Uso. It was okay that Gunther lost, but it wasn't okay that he tapped out in 2 seconds. This feud right here, Damian Priest, I understood why Damian Priest got the win, even though I did not like it. So while, yes, not my favorite decision, I did enjoy the match, and I am enjoying the feud, and I can continue forward rooting for Drew to win the rubber match. Frank Oakley III, hot take. I'm not a Logan fan, but before Logan, I think Bad Bunny and arguably Pat were the bar. So to speak as it relates to celebs and famous people coming in and doing matches, taking bumps, etc., Logan came in and raised the bar in a major way as far as fan expectations of an outsider coming in and working 100,000%. I was definitely on the why is Logan Paul being signed to WWE. I did not like it whatsoever, and I made my feelings heard, and I had to eat my words. Like, I had a big old plate of my words, and I had to eat it all because Logan Paul, like him or hate him, he's good in the ring. Kai, give me Chelsea Green every week. Definitely most entertaining worker for me. And I would say she's probably one of my top 5 as well. Drew McIntyre, Naomi, Chelsea Green. These are like top tier talent right now that are just freaking entertaining as all get out. Solo Sikoa as well. And that might be a good video, like some low-key people. Now, Drew McIntyre might not be low-key, but the other 3 are just like, I find it's like they're the hungriest, the lower on the card, but very entertaining, very hungry. Chelsea Green, great job. I'm with you. Every week she delivers. Negligence. At first I thought you were crazy, but I see the vision now. Jey Uso is going to the dark side. Negligence. I am not sure what you're talking about, but I'm glad you no longer think I'm crazy, but like, I definitely am still crazy. Oh, you know what? I did a video, Jey Uso turning heel. I gotta say, I think that video is a little outdated, but who knows? Maybe they retro it all back in. So, Tiz Mickey, wait. How's Cody just gonna say him and Jay are gonna have a match at Money in the Bank? Did he even ask him? That's right. I actually mentioned that in my review yesterday as well. So me and you, we really think alike, Tiz Mickey. If I get hired one day by WWE, Tiz Mickey, I'm going to tell them to hire you. But let's make a deal. If they ever hire you, Tiz Mickey, you tell them they need to hire me, because we are very much on the same wavelength. Because how does Cody get the authority to make this match? It's not like they knew John Cena was going to attack. And there's 2 different brands here. What if Adam Pearce had a different match in mind for Jey Uso? So, like, how does Nick Aldis, SmackDown person, get to make a match concerning the world champion on Raw? I know this is just nerd stuff, but I'm a giant nerd. If the glasses couldn't tell, if the way I talk couldn't tell, I got Funko Pops over my shoulder, okay? I'm a giant nerd, so this stuff, these little details, that's what I love. The devil is in the details, and that's, I don't love the devil, so I don't know. Moving along. Also, this will be the 3rd time the Undisputed Championship will be in a tag match at Money in the Bank. Yeah, they kind kind of use Money in the Bank as a way to have the champion there without any risk whatsoever. It's like they can kind of phone in that treatment, because what was it? Last year, it was the Cody, Randy, Kevin versus the New Bloodline, and then the year before, was that the Civil War? The Usos versus Solo and Roman. So yeah, I think they use Money as the Bank, the ladder matches themselves as the selling point, and then the champion in the tag match just showing up is icing on the cake. I don't agree with it, but yeah. Big Silva, are you doing a play off of the oddities from the Attitude Era? Because I just mentioned them on the channel, and that's like crazy that suddenly there's a Silva. But Cena versus Truth could have been way better. We could have seen Truth push Cena to the limits and questioning himself during the match. Is he doing the right thing? The heel path. Is Truth right? Then we see Cena use heel tactics, breaking Truth until we see a glimpse of Ron Killings come out. And then we end the match with a cheap heel move. Also intriguing end with Cena helping Paul could lead to something interesting. I agree with you. I honestly thought this match would be better because I know R-Truth can go in the ring, because R-Truth and Carmelo Hayes had a decent back and forth like couple. Was it R-Truth and I thought R-Truth and Carmelo Hayes had a good match. Maybe not. Maybe that's... I mean, I know R-Truth is a little on the older side, and by older, I mean, like, the oldest on the roster, but, like, I know John Cena just had a good match with Randy Orton. I wonder why they phoned it in like they did. You know, I know it was more about the storytelling of the characters and stuff, but I agree, that match, it could have been better. I wasn't expecting a 5-star classic, but it wasn't even a 3. If you're talking about match itself, that was like a 1.5, 2. I was entertained, but it would have been like, you know, it could have been better. Let's be honest. I love both of them, but let's be honest here. I am me Heidi. Damian Priest is the new 2017 big dog Roman Reigns. Oh my gosh, I hated Roman Reigns as the big dog. Man, I hated him as the big dog. And you know what? I would say this. Damian Priest last year when he was fighting Gunther and Judgment Day, yes, he definitely gave off big dog vibes. I think they have pulled it back way back, so I would not go as far to call him the big dog right now. And what I mean by that is Roman Reigns, I know some of you only know Roman Reigns as your tribal chief, but there was a large chunk of his career that he was just crammed down people's throats, and we rejected Roman. We did not like Roman. We did not like the big dog. We did not like WWE saying, this is our guy and you will love it. No. We did not like that. And he was just overpushed, overpowered, overbooked. And that's what Damian to me was last year. This year, though, Damian's like, he's okay for me, but I get your sentiment. And you do not want to be compared to Roman Reigns circa 2017. You want to be compared to Roman Reigns circa 2023. TTVS7 at, I really think Chelsea broke her nose or something, causing the match to end early. It just seemed abrupt. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that she was bloodied up and then still took that top rope maneuver, impressive. Chelsea Green, what a soldier. I wish more wrestlers could learn from her, whether it's her fortitude in the ring, it's her ability in the ring, her character work, her toughness, her grit, everything. I really hope that when it's all said and done, Chelsea Green becomes a teacher in the NXT Academy, because she is just so good. Character work, everything. And I respect Chelsea to no ends. Prin XE Triple X, the R-Truth match accomplished nothing. I expected John to have some remorse, but he just beat him up, and that was it. Felt like we just wasted a John match. Sucks because I was excited for this match. That's fair. I'm not like exactly 1-to-1 with how you feel, but you You explained yourself, and you gave a logical explanation, so I'm going to leave it at that. And I was excited for this match as well. Great comment. Raphael had error. He had 2 more points, so R-Truth nearly made Cena break character with his entrance and almost made him see the light before the low blow. The man is so underrated. Very underrated. Very underrated. I do agree, R-Truth, that is. And yes, they couldn't keep the camera on John Cena as R-Truth came down the aisle because John Cena wanted to crack up. R-Truth, just a treasure, a national treasure, coming out in John Cena gear, but, and then the shirt had R-Truth on it, or Ron Killings on it, and it was Ron Cena. Just hilarious stuff. I did think for a moment that Truth had cracked the facade of evil John Cena, but it turned out that John Cena was just being more evil, and so I don't know if this was the start of the face turn from John, or if it was just playing with our emotions. I like the last comment. I kind of wanted a little more from this. And then number 3, Cody returned a bit too early for me. It ruins the build and anticipation for the arrival of Cody Lander. I think that is a The Boys reference, in that there's a person named Homelander who is the ultimate good guy, who is in reality the ultimate bad guy, and he does have a resemblance to Cody Rhodes. So I don't think we're getting Cody Lander anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to wait until WrestleMania 44. Honestly, I would like Cody Lander quicker, but I don't think we're going to get him anytime soon. And was his return too soon? Probably, because, and here's a question. Cody, if you can just book matches, why wouldn't you book yourself in a match with John Cena, against John Cena? I know in reality we're saving that for SummerSlam, but he only has so many matches, and you have the power to book something. Don't do a throwaway tag match. John Cena's got, 20 more appearances? 19? Have a one-on-one for the title. Daniel Pabu, Jesse Ventura crashing out on Priest walking out of the cage was hilarious. That might have been my favorite thing, where Damian Priest just walks out and Jesse's just going crazy. He's like, why would you walk? In my day, we stayed in the cage. We didn't run from the cage. It was like the definition of an old man yelling at a cloud, and it was hilarious. He's like, Jesse just could not stand that Damian Priest just walked away. I loved it. And then Daniel Pabu just goes out and totally ruins the mood of this entire video. We were having a good time, Daniel, and you had to bring up the G word. I think Goldberg shows up to Raw on the 9th and interferes with Gunther's match, and that's how Jay retains. Oh man, Gunther. Having to fight. Goldberg, yuck. The taste. Whenever I say the name Goldberg, it's like an iron taste in my mouth, or maybe like ash. Whenever I say his name, my mouth just fills with ash, the taste of it. But you're probably right, to be honest with you, because Gunther versus Goldberg is probably going to happen at SummerSlam, and if we do it 2 days after Money in the Bank, I think the next PLE is SummerSlam, so if we're going to start building Gunther Goldberg, that's where we do it, and that would allow then Jey Uso to get a victory, another victory over Gunther. Gunther's kind of protected. We start that feud, and then Jey can walk into SummerSlam against Seth Rollins as champion. Yeah. Oh, Daniel Pabu, you had to bring up the G word, but I think you are right. Oh my God, too. Where was Karrion Kross? Karrion Kross is probably getting over somewhere on the internet, and Triple H is completely ignoring it because I don't know. Karrion Kross, I guess I understand why he's not on this card, but I won't understand if he's not on the Money in the Bank card, because Karrion Kross is getting himself over. I know it's with the people who don't exist, the internet, but believe it or not, Triple H, the internet is a section, can also be a litmus test for people getting over in the crowd, in the arena. So, maybe give Karrion a shot at that briefcase. Jay Black, Cody back too soon. I love Cody's, but I feel like the WWE might hit the panic button, might have hit the panic button due to some weak shows this month. I guess time will tell. Yeah, but you know what? If hitting the Cody panic button, avoiding them hitting the Rock panic button, then I'm all for that because I don't want the Rock returning. So maybe Cody did come back too soon, but honestly, if you look at his character, the character of Cody should have came back the next night. He should have came back, picked himself up by his bootstraps and said, "Let's go." Back in the day, when Rock lost a match or when Stone Cold lost a match, guess what? They showed up the next day and they were mad and they wanted their title back. So in this day and age, I get it. You lose, you're gone for 3 or 4 months, but I don't know. I think it's within his character to be back sooner rather than later. But I get what you're saying. E-Rad, this show cooked best show of 2025 for WWE behind the Rumble. Ooh, you like the Rumble that much. That was a good Rumble. To me, I really liked, I said Backlash was my favorite PLE, but actually Elimination Chamber was really good too. Elimination Chamber and Backlash are my 2 favorites, but this was definitely up there. That Rumble was good too. Remore Head, T1, Damian Priest just doesn't do it for me. Priest's promos are stiff, moveset recycled, and his whole gimmick feels like he's playing pretend. He should not have won at Saturday's main event either. Drew should have taken the W. He's a natural next top heel after Cena hangs up Drew be the next top heel, and they're wasting time not building him up now. I agree with you on Drew. I wish Drew would have won, and he is the natural top heel. I do think Damian Priest has potential, but what I like about your comment is you said, I don't like Damian Priest. He doesn't do it for me. You weren't respectful. You weren't like, oh, Damian Priest is trash. No, you're like, he doesn't do it for me. And then you went on to explain why he didn't do it for you. So I will leave it at that. But I will say that there was somebody in the crowd who did respond and said that the crowd actually loved Damian. He got a large pop. Sky Wonder Wolf. We got the last real champion. John Cena should have told Jay he was taking his title home too, and Cody should have stayed gone so he could have Cena in a match that would be for the title and not for a tag team match that doesn't matter because they're not getting nothing. I agree that Cody shouldn't be settling for a tag match. He should be like, I want the actual title. And how awesome would it have been for John to try to get the other belt as well? Although I was impressed that they actually brought the whole I want to ruin storyline back into play here, saying that a YouTuber having that would totally ruin wrestling. We got Eddie Broski. Jay Uso is the guy. I love all the stories around him. I wanted more Priest and Drew. It ended so fast. Something tells me someone got hurt. Hopefully not, but I don't know. I'll say Drew McIntyre is actually wrestling hurt right now. He can't turn his left head, so that's why I think he actually lost. I think they're writing him off TV. The Jey Uso thing, like, it's crazy. There are 4 stories revolving around Jay right now. He's feuding with Seth and his group. He's feuding with Logan Paul. He's feuding with Gunther. He's feuding with John Cena. It's like pretty good for a guy who only knows 3 moves, right? There's the third man, underwhelming, but it's okay. I guess him and Seth have a past. Truth squashed. Okay, so you weren't a big fan of Bronson Reed, and Truth, I don't know if Truth was squashed. I just think he didn't dominate. I mean, he got some moves in. If you look at how many moves were actually performed, like Truth performed his 5 moves of doom, and John Cena performed like 7 moves, and one of them was a low blow. I don't think he was squashed, but he didn't win, that's for sure. Pat Thrax, Punk needs Gallows back to help him. Straight Edge Society, let's run that back. I love the Straight Edge Society. Shazam Hassan, am I the only one who finds the dueling chants weird when John Cena's a full heel? No, I don't like it, but at this point, the crowd just wants to interact. Like Seth Rollins is like the big bad, and yet they love his music. Braun Breaker, he's bad, but they want to bark. I think the chants are more for the crowd than they are actually for the wrestler at this point. The crowd just is trying to get themselves over. And then R-Truth's entrance would have hit harder had John actually changed his music and attire after becoming a heel. Oh, 100%. 100%. Or we could have at least had maybe R-Truth go Dr. Thugonomics, and then we go even further back, but that would have made sense because Dr. Thugonomics was actually a heel. I think not changing John Cena's music and stuff, while it makes sense due to the line of you get nothing new, I think it was still a missed opportunity. Donatello Leonardo, this is the dude that was actually there in Tampa. So let's hear from a butt in the seat. We got the crowd does cheer for the heels like Seth and crew, but you can tell there's a large chunk of audience that still just wants the old-fashioned babyface to win. I think honestly people just really like the whoa chant and the dog barks as a way to participate in the show. There we go. Literally just said what I said. That's me and you, Donatello. We book very similar, or we view the crowd very similar, maybe. Number 2, Drew McIntyre is insanely over. He was getting the type of reaction that a heel gets when the crowd knows they're not supposed to root for him, but they have too much respect for him. I like that. Number 3, Damien's reactions have gotten a lot better as well, but I think he needs a slight gimmick adjustment to freshen things up. I would agree there too. So, I don't know what it could be. Maybe not a full heel turn, but I would like to see something a little different with Damian Priest. And then number 4, Jey Uso is way more enjoyable live than on TV. I like Jay, though. I wouldn't say I'm anywhere near his biggest fan, but speaking as someone who has seen him live twice in the last 6 months, I've noticed it feels different when you are there in the moment versus watching things on TV. I think WWE misses the fact that the live audience is different than TV when it comes to why some people are critical of him. That I see 100%. I often feel like they should let Jey Uso do the yeetin', and his encore should be a commercial. They have 8,000 commercials anyways. You can throw a commercial there. Mr. Pete, the Cena heel run seems random ASF now. Honestly, it was just so random to begin with. He says he's mad at the fans, but we've been cheering him for 8 years. I get it. You can bottle things up. And something from 10 years ago can affect you today, but not buying it. They, The Rock ruined everything. John Cena didn't ruin wrestling. The Rock ruined the first half of wrestling for 2025. Ron Talks Tabletop. What a Saturday's main event. Bronson is back. Why is he with Seth after all their beef? Cody is back. Logan is with Cena. How funny is R-Truth? The only thing I was disappointed over was Zelina retaining in the way she did. I don't want WWE to run it back, but I feel like they will just pull a Chelsea versus Meacham, but I want that belt on someone else, then back to Chelsea. Makes sense? Just my opinion. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't want to see Chelsea and Zelina fight until 2026. They had way too many Meacham Chelsea matches. We can do more with this title, but I would like for Chelsea to have a proper second term. And then we got John Cena sucks. I don't think John Cena can go in the ring anymore because he's just bad in the ring now, and I don't like the 5 moves of doom anymore because John Cena do this too much, and I just want to see something new from the guy. Well, I mean, your name is John Cena sucks, so I do think that no matter what John Cena does, you're probably not going to be happy with it. However, I do think you do have fair criticisms, and maybe he just can't go in the ring anymore. Maybe he needs someone who can flat out carry him. Randy Orton maybe carried him to a great match on Backlash, and maybe Cody didn't know how to carry John Cena, and that's why their match sucks so bad at Mania. I'm not 100% sure. And R-Truth, he did fight Carmelo Hayes the other week, or about a month or two ago. Maybe it was Carmelo that carried R-Truth, and maybe R-Truth can't carry John Cena to the match that we all wanted. So, I don't know. Either way, after December, we're not going to have to worry about how good John can wrestle again, though I do want to see him and AJ go at it one more time. AJ, I bet, could get him to his last 5-star match. Micah does it. Chelsea Green is so giving in all her matches. Last night on Saturday main event, she took a code red off the top rope with a busted nose at Money in the Bank. I'm going to stop this right here. You know what, Micah? I'm reading your comment. This is a great comment. I'm going to do a whole video for Chelsea Green. I'm going to do a whole video because of you. You're right. Chelsea Green is putting in her all. So I hope you don't mind me cutting your hot take short. I'll do a whole video. A demon named Lex. This feud between Damian and Drew should have ended at WrestleMania because it's destroying Damian's career. Drew beat Damian fair in a street fight, and Damian attacking Drew after Mania during the match at Backlash and having to beat Drew by walking out of the cage honestly just makes Damian seem like a sore loser. This isn't the first time Damian came across like a sore loser during his babyface run. Well, I agree and disagree. I think it should have ended at Mania, but I think it's actually helping Damian's career. Being associated with Drew is a good thing. Now for Drew, not so much. This is hurting Drew McIntyre's career. I do say so. Now you do go on to say more, but it's a little too long for me to read in hot takes. So I do appreciate the comment. I think Damian Priest, like him attacking at the Backlash though, that was okay because it was a fatal 4-way. He could attack anybody he wanted. But yeah, I think Damian Priest wants to be hitched to the Drew wagon as long as possible. Drew, on the other hand, needs to get away. DDE Live Saturday Night Main Event was solid, but I thought Chelsea Green was about to get her title back. I don't know what they're doing with her. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I don't want her to just be jobbed out because her character can survive. She's such a good character. She can take a loss. I mean, I get that, but at the end of the day, too many losses, it's just not fair. Just because you're so good doesn't mean you should be rewarded with mediocrity. Come at me now. Bronson Reed coming back will mean CM Punk and Sammy will need a third. Ooh, who will they get? That's going to be an epic return. The one and only Tonga Loa. Heck yeah. Then they'd be overpowered. Tonga Loa, CM Punk and Sami Zayn. He has returned announcing he has denounced Solo and he has never heard from Solo since being out of action. Family, don't do that. The Loa Constrictor is here to fight the good fight. The Loa Constrictor. Book that, Triple H. Jimbo Slice. Theory needed that faction spot with Seth more than Bronson. Bronson Reed was going to be just fine as a solo act regardless. Theory needs a fresh coat of paint. I actually agree with that. I think with Bronson Reed, it changes the dynamic of Seth's faction, and now that it's Seth with two really big goons. So now it's all about Seth. If they had brought in Austin Theory, it would have been different in that it would have been Seth leading the future, a rookie in Bronson Reed and a rookie or rebuilding someone in Austin Theory. So yeah, now it's more like his Monday Night Messiah gimmick than it is the Evolution gimmick of Triple H. And for all the faults of Evolution, it did create two megastars in Batista and Randy Orton, and I feel we should have done it here. Bronson Reed made his name last year, and I think he could have been a solo act. Raymond Nyan, Truth should have beaten Cena because at this point, he is the only person who I want to beat Cena for the title. Well, you know what? I do agree that Truth should have beat Cena, especially if it was a non-title match. Who cares? But I would have actually liked for R-Truth to have won it for 1 week. One last big victory for the Truth, man. But oh well. C'est la vie, said the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. Boys, girls, those are hot takes for Saturday's main event. Please come back for Raw tomorrow and leave some hot takes there so we can do it all over again. Have yourselves a great day.